Well, in his presidential video, he said that he wants to finish the job. A short time later, Vice President Kamala Harris also announced her bid for re-election. Well, for more on both, I'm joined by Bernard Whitman, CEO of Whitman Insight Strategies, Democratic strategist and pollster. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much for joining us. The latest polls that we've seen here, the NBC poll at the weekend, 70% of the country apparently don't want Biden to run. Can he win it?
The answer is unequivocally yes. Why? A few reasons. First, I am actually delighted that he announced today because I feel like maybe he will start actually communicating to the American people the extraordinary accomplishments of his administration. Putting aside the likely Republican nominee who's a megalomaniac who's bent on remaining in power for any reason and using any ability to do so, including fomenting insurrection, I'm going to leave that aside for a minute, or paying off porn stars. I'm going to leave that aside for a minute. Joe Biden has actually done something, and Kamala Harris has actually done something that few presidents actually do, which is keep their promises. If you look at things like healthcare, if you look at things like the environment, if you look at things like our educational system, if you look at things like racial justice and equity and equality, if you look at the civility that he's brought back, if you look at the fact that we saved millions of people from COVID, if you look at the fact that we have created 11 million jobs, unemployment is the lowest level virtually in history. Gaps between black and white Americans in terms of income, lowest ever. Commitment to the environment, biggest ever. We have actually started to do the things that we have been promising people for years, Democrat and Republican, could never get it done. Republicans talk big about infrastructure, could never get it done. Joe Biden got it done. The American people will understand that one guy is actually delivering results to the American people. The other one is a criminal.
What are his chances if he does have to face Donald Trump again? Do you think it makes his chances of re-election harder or easier?
Here's the thing. I actually feel quite sorry because I think there are a lot of well-meaning Republicans out there. I don't understand why they have allowed themselves to buy another bill of goods from a three-time loser. Let's be clear. Donald Trump was a danger to American civility and society and democracy when he came into office. He ensured that on exit, he would try to do his best to burn down the House. Almost happened, literally. He is now on trial for paying hush money to a porn star and is trying to then use people like, transgender kids who are probably at risk of killing themselves to score political points. I ask my friends, particularly in the evangelical community, about a third or 40% of Trump's bases, this man is not a Christian. Like, wake up. What are you guys doing? This is not the type of person that you want to surround yourself with. He is a threat to American democracy, to be sure, but more importantly, a threat to American civility. The idea that we can talk to our neighbors, that we can have a calm conversation, that we can agree to disagree, that we don't have to espouse hate in order to win are things that are just foreign to that individual. He is hell-bent on retaining or taking that power, despite the fact he's lost now 3 times. Joe Biden, on the other hand, I think actually the moment pick Joe Biden, people think, really, he's going to aid whatever? I would take Joe Biden hands down any day of the week if we look at the opportunities and the alternatives that we have.
But you mentioned his age. I mean, if he were to win, he would be 86 at the end of his presidency. I mean, is there an issue with succession planning in the Democratic Party that they really need to be bringing in more people? He appears to be running because there isn't anybody else that you think will win.
Jane, you're 100% right. The Republican Party has actually done a somewhat better job of developing a group of backbenchers. I don't particularly agree with many of them, but they're not going to be the nominee. It's not going to happen. The Republican Party is hostage to a dangerous megalomaniac. Tim Scott, not going to do it. Nikki Haley, not going to do it. Ron DeSantis, not going to do it. None of them will. We have one alternative here. It's Joe Biden. Sorry, that's who we have. That's who we need to support. Why? Because it actually gets things done for the American people. He might be a little old. We need to improve our base, but we need to ensure democracy continues, that civility continues, that people actually have jobs, can pay for things like college. Why on God's earth do we want to have a raise a generation of dumb people by not paying for higher education. I don't get it. Why do why do Republicans want to ensure life but refuse to actually deliver health care to the babies once they're born? I don't get it.
Okay, Bernard Whitman, Democratic strategist. We'll leave it there. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Let's get a look at the weather.